10 years of storytelling, 18 films, dozens of heroes. When Avengers Infinity War arrived in 2018, it wasn't just a movie, it was a cinematic event, a culmination of everything the Marvel Cinematic Universe had built since Iron Man in 2008. Directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, the film pulled off what many thought was impossible. It juggled a massive ensemble cast, delivered high-stakes action, and left audiences stunned, all while centering its story around the villain. While the cast is enormous, Infinity War smartly divides the heroes into smaller teams across the galaxy, giving each group moments to shine. Josh Brolin as Thanos is the film's emotional and narrative core. Through motion capture and voice work, Brolin gives a layered performance that's both terrifying and, oddly, sympathetic. He's not your typical destroy-everything villain. He believes in what he's doing. His calm demeanor, emotional baggage, and twisted logic make him arguably the MCU's greatest antagonist. Robert Downey Jr. delivers one of his strongest performances as Tony Stark. He carries the weight of the universe on his shoulders and finally comes face to face with the threat he's feared since the Chitauri invasion in the Avengers. His banter with Doctor Strange and his father-like concern for Peter Parker are emotional highlights. Chris Hemsworth as Thor is in peak form. Fresh off the loss of his family and kingdom in Thor, Ragnarok, Thor's grief drives him forward. His scenes with Rocket are surprisingly touching, and his entrance into Wakanda is one of the most crowd-cheering moments in the MCU. Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange holds his own beside Stark, and Chris Pratt keeps Star-Lord fun and impulsive, though his actions bring consequences. Zoe Saldana as Gamora also gets a heavier emotional arc than ever before, adding complexity to her relationship with Thanos. Even with limited screen time, almost every Avenger, from Scarlet Witch and Vision to Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Captain America, gets meaningful moments. The Russo brothers pull off a balancing act that's nothing short of remarkable. Audiences knew Infinity War would be big, but they didn't expect that ending. The film's tone is darker and more urgent than most MCU entries. Stakes feel real, and the tension builds as Thanos collects each Infinity Stone. The structure of the film, centered on stopping a nearly unstoppable villain, keeps it moving like a thriller rather than a typical superhero flick. And then, the snap. The moment Thanos wipes out half of all life in the universe shocked viewers. Marvel had never gone this bold. Watching heroes like Spider-Man, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Wanda fade into dust was devastating for fans, especially because Infinity War ends right there, on a somber note, with the villain victorious. The film's boldness, emotional weight, and massive scale left audiences stunned, debating theories for a year before Endgame. It wasn't just a blockbuster, it was a cultural conversation piece. Avengers. Infinity War is a masterclass in event filmmaking. It delivers thrilling action, emotional character beats, and a villain who drives the narrative with conviction. It took everything Marvel had built over a decade and pushed it to the brink, literally. With confident direction, sharp performances, and an unforgettable ending, it remains one of the most ambitious and impactful entries in the MCU. Film rating, 9.5 out of 10.